Good morning or good afternoon. My name is Akiko Ishihara from Kumamoto University, really southern part of Japan. I'm working as an associate professor of the conflict resolution in Kumamoto University, but I sometimes work with healthcare issues. I'd like to make some small presentation about what kind of discussion have been made regarding the new policy with dementia. Dementia is right? Dementia. In Japan. So my title is Ethical Dilemmas on Japan's new policy for dementia. I really appreciate you accepting my baby. Thank you. So anyway, as you know, Japan has the longest expectancy of living. So this is the estimated prevalence rate of dementia in Japan. So which is used by the government very often. So they estimated in 2050 we have about 10% of Japanese population will have dementia in 2050. That is the government estimation. So because of this, so we have a concern about the burden of disease will increase, and at the national economics level and also at the community family care level. And we need measures with dementia. That is the context. Japanese government launched the newest measures with dementia in June 18th in 2019 this year, and also the Fundamental Act with dementia. So June 18th, 2019, the Japanese government launched the Fundamental Principles for Dementia Measures. The two most important pillar is prevention of dementia and living well with dementia. And draft of the policy was presented in May and included a numeric target of prevention to decrease the prevalence rate of dementia by 6% in 6 years from now, meaning by 10% in 10 years. And this kind of emphasis on the prevention and including the numeric target of prevention, many stakeholders showed a lot of objections to the prevention part of the draft, and especially this numeric target. And the government finally gave up this numeric target in the policy, in the main part of the policy. And they said we use this numeric target number as a kind of 参考値ですから、Sightseeing. Thank you so much. So this paper presents by what stakeholders and what debate were held over the numeric target of dementia prevention on the draft after the draft was presented. And also my own consideration on the dementia policy from the viewpoint of the conflict resolution study, because I'm working on dementia from the conflict resolution perspective usually. But I kind of my presentation has a little bit bias because people around me had objections to this numeric target and also prevention, and I couldn't find deeply about prevention is very important in this policy. We should keep this part in the policy. Maybe I would like to ask your opinion later. Anyway. a bed outside in Asai Sensei's room, so maybe she can just lie on. I'm sorry. So historical outline of Japan's dementia policy. So in 2004, we had the first but important this meeting, and also the 2008 urgent project to improve the quality of medicine in life with dementia. And 2012, 5 years plan to promote dementia measures. We call this ORIC plan. This is a kind of very fundamental plan for the dementia measures. And they make 2015, this is a new orange plan, comprehensive plan to promote dementia measures. And now 2019, the new measures. So kind of like, I think this discussion started because of the difference of the emphasis of what part of the dementia measures is emphasized in the policy. It was very different from the 2015 version, also 2019 version. So in 2015 version, government said the 7 important things is awareness raising with dementia, offering appropriate cures at appropriate timing, and enhancing measures with early onset dementia, support for caregivers for people with dementia, and dementia elderly friendly community, and prevention, diagnosis, treatment, rehabilitation with dementia, and people with dementia centered, family-centered care. And new one, this was 5 important pillars, that is awareness raising and voice raising of the people with dementia. And second one is prevention. And third, support for medical caregivers for people with dementia, for promoting barrier-free community with dementia, and support for people with early onset dementia to participate in society, and also promoting dementia-related research and development business too. So kind of they did not too much because I'm sorry, I did not put the name of the policy here, but in 2015 version, subtitle of this policy is Dementia Elderly Friendly Community. This is a subtitle of the policy. So in 2015, we feel the government puts the emphasis on the dementia-friendly community or the living well with dementia. And in 2019 version, they put more emphasis on prevention. That was a big image like that we got from this policy. Anyway, so what is the difference between the draft of the new measures and also the final version of the new measures? Draft was presented in May 2019 and final version was made in June 2019. And regarding this is only about the prevention part. So first, government said 2 important pillars is prevention and dementia-friendly community, or the prevention and living well with dementia. Government changed the order, dementia-friendly community and prevention after a lot of objection from the stakeholders. And first, in draft, the government said primary prevention is very important, but the second one, final version, government changed. Prevention means more like secondary prevention, or I'm so sorry, presentation, secondary prevention and third prevention. And also, what happened with the numeric target in the policy? Government, as I said, kind of gave up to have this numeric target in the main part of the policy. So that was what happened. So what kind of the debate or the opinions or the projections were made between these two timings? So I'd like to introduce. These are the projections towards the draft, which emphasize on the prevention. So this group, Japan Society for People with Dementia and Their Family, Takai says, is this the right translation of the?
I don't know, but I understand.
Hi. This is the biggest stakeholder of the dementia in Japan. So what they said in the statement at the annual conference in 2019, this was June this year. We have aimed to create a society in which we can live well with dementia. Now the government is presenting a draft of the National Strategy of Dementia and of a Dementia Basic Act. We are concerned that numeric target of prevention would foster negative prejudice to dementia and emphasize on the prevention would cause blaming with dementia. So it means like people got the dementia failed of the prevention from failed to do the prevention, she or he will be blamed. So that was their concern. And second one, this is also the kind of big stakeholder, the Leiden Conference. This is made by the four main organizations with dementia, including the organization with the people with dementia and family with dementia, and also association for the early onset dementia and other two groups. But they did not show clear objection to this. They just said we claim effective measures. But one of the head of the one organization, which is included in these four organizations, Mr. Atsushi Ono, he is the Secretary General of the Leiden Conference for People with Early Onset Dementia. He clearly expressed like we should not emphasize on primary prevention, but on prevention exacerbation, not worse. And also in these years, movement of the voice raising of the person with dementia, he is a leader of the opinion leader and of the person with dementia. And actually he is from this town, Sendai. So what he said was, why I don't like the word prevention. Many people, including me, have been forced to do something good to brain after diagnosis, though they don't like to do them. I understand that they force them to be out of kindness, but they often irritate and depress a person after the diagnosis. Some people might say that their mental status will improve after the exercise or for prevention, but is it true? I suppose going out to meet people may improve his or her mental status, rather than some specific prevention. It is essentially important to hear voice of the person of dementia and not to force what he or she does not like to do. Why do you think the progression of dementia is slow with me? I think it is because I'm with you and I love with you and enjoy my life. It is thanks to you. I don't force me to exercise and don't eat things that I don't like, even if someone says it's really good for your prevention from dementia. So anyway, this is not scientific discourse, but this is opinion by the opinion leader of the person with dementia in Japan. So what he said has a power in Japan now. Also, this is also another opinion leader, person with dementia, Mrs. Kazuko Fujita. What she said was, I think it is problematic that one aspect of prevention is emphasized in the new measures. I think secondary prevention and third prevention is important. However, most of the media and the forum deal with only primary prevention. we should emphasize that prevention after diagnosis is more important than prevention from getting dementia and should create society in which we can live well with dementia. We can promote a measure for the living with dementia. So, it's interesting, like, she did not say prevention is bad, but she said, like, we should emphasize on the secondary or third prevention, tertiary prevention, rather than primary prevention. And tertiary prevention in this context means more like rehabilitation, living with dementia. It's kind of interesting opinion. And also, opinion leader in medical doctors, some opinion leaders from medical doctors showed objections. And Dr. Kinoshita, for example, at the present level of clinical medicine, we cannot prevent from and cure and stop exacerbation of dementia. So it will be realistic if we implicate rehabilitation, living with dementia in third prevention. So, but in this context, my opinion is that it is unrealistic to use the word prevention in the policy. It will be rather effective as a starting point of dementia policy to give up prevention once and to aim at living with dementia first. That was his opinion. So, this is also the medical doctor opinion leader in Japan. And also he is from Sendai, this area. So he showed kind of clear objection to the policy regarding the prevention part. What he said is we don't have enough strong evidence with effectiveness of prevention activities with dementia to include national policy. So he kind of like analyzed the papers of the dementia prevention activities, and he did not say no evidence, but very weak evidence. That was what he said. And also, second important part is dementia has strong stigmas. We have the strong stigmas with the dementia. And third reason is, why does the government want to emphasize on dementia prevention? One strong reason is the prevention business has a big potential business market, and we should not be manipulated regarding the importance of prevention. Because he said, like, if prevention itself is very effective, it's okay. But like maybe the Japanese government emphasize prevention. One reason is because of the kind of this is a business chance. So, and totally what he said was prevention is okay, but we should do more different things like promoting living with dementia before we could emphasize on prevention. That was what he said. Anyway. And also, as a journalist, kind of synthesized these opinions and showed opinions, objections to the policy. So, kind of after, what was the summary, essential part of the objection opinion? One is we don't have enough strong evidences with dementia prevention to include in the policy. And second, too much emphasis on the prevention will have conflict with the promotion dementia-friendly community in which we can live with dementia. This kind of conflict with two values. Anyway, is it true? I mean, we have to analyze. By the way, what I think about dementia from the lens of conflict resolution studies. Symptoms of dementia is categorized into two parts, core symptoms and peripheral symptoms. This is a kind of what we say in Japanese textbook. And this peripheral symptoms, Shuken Shoujo, is called BPSD. BPSD is the behavioral psychological symptoms of dementia. It includes kind of physical violence and violent word, And also, I'm so sorry, I did not change into English. Uneasiness and also, すみません。客願望ですから、dementia people sometimes or very often would like to, for example, the dementia people who live in the facilities for elderly care, they say, I'd like to go back to my home. This is not my home, I'd like to go back. And they say this is a kind of one symptom, 帰宅願望. And also like refusing of the taking care. And 徘徊って英語で何て言いましたっけ、すみません、調べてる。
Walking along.
Walking on.
Walking along without being told.
Walking alone without.
During a night.
There's no intention and like so anyway. So these BPSD, behavioral psychological symptoms of dementia, can be understood as a kind of conflict expression with others, like, I don't want, this is from the conflict resolution perspective, this is not symptom, this is more like just expression when that person has a conflict, like, I don't want this, this is kind of expression that is we see. So what I thought was, many BPSD can be resolved, not many, but some part of BPSD could be resolved with conflict resolution perspective. If we can resolve BPSD, we will not be troubled with dementia too much. That's what I'm trying to do now. Actually, many poor people with dementia or the family with dementia patient, their conflict, their trouble is not simply from these symptoms, but also from the long narratives of the family narratives. For example, like past trauma past conflict between family members, or the conflict of interest and different values, or the fear to the getting older, or the fear towards death. Those things are the basic things for the family conflict. Not simply from the symptoms of dementia, but also like family normal issues, like narrative things. Past traumas, past conflict between family members. And also value differences, value conflict, and interest conflict. So we'd like to help to resolve these things from a conflict resolution perspective. Anyway, so how we see dementia from the lens of conflict resolution studies. So, for example, this is a family conflict, for example. If this person is healthy, this person is healthy, this is just mutual conflict, if they have a conflict. Person A, person B has a conflict. But once this person get dementia, we tend to say, this is not our conflict, this is your symptom. So this is a kind of way of saying after they got diagnosis. So this person with dementia started to be included in the medical care, and he or she become objection of the medical care. This is not bad thing, but this is a normal paradigm of the elderly care. But I'd like to try to have analyze this situation as just a mutual conflict, as a conflict resolution perspective. I think this will help to create something for the dementia-friendly community. So, in this context, I think in the draft of the policy, government said we'd like to emphasize on prevention, means primary prevention. And this is a prevention of these core symptoms, basically. And how we can prevent from having BPSD, this is not like a pharmaceutical thing. Sometimes like medicine helps BPSD, of course, but more human communication things, and also offering a good environment to the person will help BPSD. So this idea is used by many caregivers, many, let's say, advanced caregivers even now. But anyway, prevention from BPSD is definitely how we can create the dementia-friendly community, or the living well with dementia. So I think government said two pillar is the policy is prevention and dementia two pillar of the policy is prevention and living well with dementia, and I think prevention part means this one, and also the second pillar, living well with dementia or the dementia friendly community, is this part prevention. That is what I thought. And also how we can contribute this situation from conflict resolution perspective. This is one thing is trauma and stigma. So trauma and stigma is a very important topic of the conflict resolution. For example, in civil war situation, like in the violence, we got trauma, and trauma, trauma help to make a new stigma. Oh, that enemy is that person. That is a very violent person. This is because of trauma. So anyway, personal and social trauma with dementia cause stigma and discrimination with disease. And trauma and also trauma motivate prevention. We don't say this is bad thing, but this is a kind of mechanism. And one story by one gerontology physician is, he said, in the medical care with light dementia, many people are depressed by getting diagnosis of dementia, and his or her health got worse. Sometimes I, as a medical doctor, I intentionally do not give the diagnosis to a patient and just encourage him or her to join social activities. Then he or she got much better than giving the diagnosis of dementia. This is one story, how the kind of stigma that is too much burden to the person or the family with dementia. So when we can heal, this is kind of idealistic situation, but when we can heal personal or social trauma towards dementia, we will not have dementia as a disease anymore. Of course, it's kind of impossible, but kind of directions, kind of visions. So, what worldview does exist behind stigma toward dementia? I think this is a kind of personhood image in the modern society. Like, when one's brain does not work, he or she is not person anymore. Like, government is trying to make some support system of the decision making of the dementia people. Actually, decision making schemes in modern society, in present society, is basically like we need to think rationally, we need to decide something rationally, and also we should express our opinion verbally. So this is an image of the personhood in modern society. So kind of like our society is challenged by the increased number of dementia regarding what kind of new image of the personhood we can make. I'd like to think maybe a discussion part, but why the policy of emphasize prevention of dementia is a problem? What are the differences between the cancer prevention and living with cancer? Living well with cancer. And what is the difference between the tuberculosis prevention and tuberculosis I don't know, living with tuberculosis, I don't know, but anyway, what is the difference? I discussed with some opinion leaders who objected to this. What they said was the difference of the evidence level. We have enough strong evidence for the prevention with tuberculosis, but we don't have enough strong evidence with dementia prevention. And also, the other thing is, even if we got the cancer, we don't think that person has rationality to choose what kind of care he would like to get. But once that person gets dementia, diagnosis of dementia, we tend to think, she or he got dementia, so he cannot rationally now. So we, family, should decide instead of him or instead of her. This is not like all the cases, but we tend to do this kind of thing. So that was the discussion. And how we should, how can we create how can we accept aging and death? So this is what we're asked in this debate in essentially, I think. So we have the word dementia-free life. Of course, this is wonderful, but also we need to accept sometimes many people got dementia. And also we have this word pinpin korori in Japanese. Pinpin korori means we should, if person can live very healthy, pin means healthy, healthy. So healthy, healthy, and korori means sudden death. So if every person lives, pin means healthy, 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 but sudden death is happiest way of living. That is the pinpin korori movement in Japan. Yeah, it is maybe ideal, good, but we also accept we cannot do pinpin korori, means healthy, healthy, sudden death. So what is the values behind of dementia-free life or the pinpin korori? So, super aging society, I think the role of medicine has changed. It will not be, the role of the medicine will not be cure from a disease. This is 20th century one, but in 21st century, the role of medicine should be to support the process towards this well. So, medical care to live well with aging. So that is what I think. And also, this again, I repeat this part, but the important thing is why human rights of people with dementia tend to be neglected. This is, I think, a problem of the image of the personhood. What is a person? What is a personhood? Those who can think rationally, decide one's opinion rationally, and can express it verbally is a person in modern society. But super aging society, which has a big dementia population, is a challenge the image of personhood, which we have built since the modern era. So, also, this is the kind of end of my presentation, but we had a very interesting discussion with caregivers in Niigata. Niigata is, what I say, in Japanese, east part of Japan, no, west part of Japan, west of Niigata prefecture. And in Niigata prefecture, this is kind of countryside area. And he said, excuse me, in countryside in Japan, elderly people can continue work with dementia because there is agriculture and agri-farming. Even if they have dementia, they can do farming until like very end of the life. And also, in countryside, when someone got a mental illness, people called her or him, oh, she was got by fox. キツネツキですね、in Japanese. Like fox. Anyway, it's kind of difficult to explain. So, so we had a different this discourses how we can deal with dementia people in traditional society. So, like how the present discussion, like how we can offer the good care, how we can offer the good prevention regarding dementia, is very kind of modern or maybe even post-modern discussion. So also I think it would be nice to think the value of the traditional society or how we could deal with dementia in traditional society to create the new values to living with dementia. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. I think some of those issues we can see in other countries that you come from too. But who would like to start? I have some dementia, so I forget the first slide. And slide number 5, I also forgot. Sorry, Akiko. So I may need to see it again. The rest I remember. Richard?
Yeah. My father had dementia, and so this is kind of a personal issue. But I'm just trying to fit this into your model because in my father's case, for example, he had an automobile accident after he came with dementia. Then my sister told him, you're not allowed to drive your car. So there was, a conflict between them, right? My father said, why can't I drive? And my sister said, you can't drive. So, and in your model, you seem to treat that as kind of like on an what's the word you used? A mutual conflict with each other. But from my sister's point of view, that was not, oh yeah, there you go. As a mutual conflict. But from my sister's point of view, that was not mutual. It's like you don't drive. So yeah, and then my father lost his decision making, so he doesn't have the ability to make rational choices, and that privilege is taken away from him. I'm just wondering, how do you analyze that kind of situation?
Thank you so much. It's interesting thing. So from the conflict resolution person, the situation of dementia is definitely asymmetric conflict. まあでもそれがいいアンサーでもないですね。Anyway, so yeah, anyway, asymmetric conflict means like your father and your sister and have a different opinions. But I would like to ask what you said, like this is not mutual conflict from her perspective. It means like, no, this is, I'm doing this from my kindness. I'm thinking of you. That is what you'd like to ask, or like she's very strong than him. What is your, what you would like to say?
Both. I think, three things. She doesn't want him to hurt himself if he drives a car. She doesn't want him to get in an accident and hurt other people. And she herself doesn't want to be responsible for something that my father does. So I think there's three things that she was thinking.
This include also very old issues of bioethics, paternalism, right? And also, I see this situation, like conflict between the person with dementia and conflict and with healthy people is an asymmetric conflict. Once this person got dementia, you cannot think rationally, or that you need care, you need protection, and this person loses his voice or her voice. Interesting things. Tanno-san, the opinion leader of person with dementia, said, dementia, the person with dementia also have the right to have taking risk. That is interesting. So what you showed, that example, is happens very often with people with dementia, right? Like you should not drive a car. This is dangerous. You should be protected. But he said, yeah, but also why we cannot have a right to take risk? So did that help?
But I think with the risk, there's not just the risk to my father, but there's the risk that he hurts somebody else. And there's also the risk, that Well, the accident that happened, actually, my father drove his car into a supermarket.
Ah,
That's basically what happened. And after that, she said, "You're not driving anymore." Then the conflict came up. And I mean, somebody in the supermarket could have become hurt.
yes.
And then, then my sister had to deal with all the insurance problems and all these kinds of things. She didn't want to deal with that. She didn't want somebody else to get hurt. And so the idea just, my father, yes, you're allowed to take a risk. I don't think that was the overriding factor that, made her decide that.
So as long as society is not prepared enough for the dementia, always people with dementia is a risk of the society. And some part, like driving car in a dangerous way, and also like who cannot communicate properly, for example. So I'd like to ask Takai-sensei's opinion too. What do you think?
Yeah, this is depending on the which focus we are going to. We are mainly discussing the clinical side, how we may help those who are patient, we call. But changing is how we may be able to support from the another side. That means we don't have to worry about the person with dementia. We may be able to change ourselves to attitude toward the person itself, not with dementia. So that the practical length has been changed. Like a social worker will be changed from 180 hours to 260 hours. Will be changed after 3 years. That means training is enough for how to communicate with a person, not only dementia, but also various persons who communicate with. So this is a time that to think about the father or mother with dementia. No, just father or mother who need help will be more important. Like a need driver, we are thinking about the social policy, provide the car support. Instead, we may work with mother and the father together, the family members, for taking the time. That may be able to more direct support, not from professional, but as a family members. But nowadays, we think that we are too busy to support my family. We ask the professional to do so. So this is social change is necessary to think about the value of society, how to live, how to communicate with the family members. So that would be a very important issue, that instead of thinking about professional training, but family understanding of family members. But for example, in the area in the Fukushima, they are supported by professional, especially for medical doctors. But to be honest with them, what is with me said, I'm so appreciate having from medical doctor to come to a temporal house to help. But actually, it has not been help. They come 8 a.m., then going back 4 p.m., that only. But problem will be caused during 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Nobody there, but they are satisfied for doing that. They are doing volunteer spirit, that will be fine. But during a lifetime, the night time is a very serious matter, as you mentioned. This mentioned toitering is walking along with the pinton during the night. That mean, but you think that you are working as a professional, but not professional is necessary. Working with person to person is more important. That is the point I think that you are mentioning is social. Instead of thinking about for social policy, thinking about how we may be able to communicate with them as a person. That's the point.
I just want to say that the problem brought about Professor Ivanov is a little bit complicated for your cases, because there are the conflict between sisters, fathers, and the societies, and I'm not sure your method can deal with those kind of individual versus a society problem. So I'm curious about that.
Yeah,
So how does it apply?
I include also the conflict with not interpersonal, but also the conflict between dementia people and societal, let's say, values or the safety. Yeah, I was thinking like we kind of 感染症ですから、infectious, very strong infectious disease like SARS and like tuberculosis, then they are very dangerous person. So we should like, oh, you got this infectious disease and you should come and you should be in this room and you should not come out, you know. This is we can do as a society.
Quarantine.
Yeah, so means that case has some common part with that case. This dementia person is at some level dangerous, but so how we can do how we can deal with this risk well, other than すいません侵害するですother than excuse me, I haven't talked in English so little bit long time, so 侵害権利を
intervene, infringe.
そうです、権利を侵害したり権利を剥奪する形以外で、まあ、その感染が広がらないとかリスクが広がらないためにどうしたらいいかということを考える必要があるだろうと、それは政策レベルのコンフリクトですね。So yeah, I think it helped me. I think we should think like conflict in the interpersonal level, how to deal with conflict interpersonal level. Also, we should think how we can resolve the conflict in the policy level. Like policy level, we have to think how we can deal with this kind of risk by the dangerous driving and in the policy level we should think how we can, as I say, make good measures to protect society other than like 制限する、権利を制限するで何でしたっけ？
Restrict
the human rights of the dementia people. So, どうでしょうか、山口先生。
What Noah said I thought was kind of interesting because, my sister did try to make accommodations. He can't drive, so she would take him where he wants to go. And so that becomes a compromise. The problem with that was he wants to go to the supermarket, so she took him to the supermarket. Then he developed another problem, which was stealing things from the supermarket and putting them in his pocket. So then she had to stop that. So my sister felt that, at some point that she needed to make decisions that he could not make his own decisions anymore. At some point, my sister reached that conclusion.
Thank you.
Well, it's going to be interesting, the case of cars. As we have automatic cars, in the next, maybe in 20 years' time, no one should be driving. We should just leave it to the automatic car. And then all the so-called non-dementia people, like some of us, will say, we want to drive, but actually it's safer that the automatic cars drive. Why would we let people make the same as, but we see problems like the airplane crash with the autopilot problems with the Boeing 737 MAX. Here the pilot is not meant to be safe, yet we've lost people in Indonesia and Ethiopia because of over-reliance on autopilots. So that's another risk. So you still left here, can your model apply to the trying to prevent harm to the broader society, the conflict between...
Like a model.
Yeah, how does the model, coming back to Tsushiya-sai's question, can you...
答えるつもりだったんですけど、答えてなかったですね。
You said that we will have to develop the policies to protect the people, as well as protecting the dementia people's rights.
Yeah.
That's part of the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, of course, we should try to resolve that problem with technological development, we can, like say, have the car without the drivers.
Yeah.
And also, even stealing in a supermarket, it happens very often. But kind of human technology, soft technology and communication skill of policeman has been changed. Like in the past, someone steals something, always policeman, oh, you steal this is bad. But sometimes some police people has been trained how to deal with stealed by elderly people, kind of like they deal with very properly. But this is a different example, but it's interesting thing is this is not a steal case, but one dementia people saw illusions 原子ですね。で he thought, I have 30 people in my room. Oh, I have 20 people in my room. Oh, this is a terrorism that he felt, and he called police. And so this person concerned like 30 people, 20 people. So maybe self-defense force will come. But if self-defense force comes, my neighbors will be surprised. So it's not good. I hope only one policeman come to my house. That he hoped, the person with dementia. And actually, only one policeman came by bicycle. And okay, oh, you saw 30 people, 20 people. It's dangerous. Okay, I will check. Oh, no one now. Okay. Door, open the door. Oh, no one, I can see. No one. Okay, safe. Thank you for letting me know this situation. But now you are safe. So kind of like I was surprised and I was very impressed that this kind of new communication skills training with police people is also helps the society to deal with situation. 難しいですね。
Any other questions or comments? Yes, Raphael first, please.
Maybe it's a silly question, but I just wonder why driving a car has become a status of adulthood, of autonomy in our society. Why just driving a car? There is a village in Germany for the cure of Alzheimer's disease, a village in which you are not allowed to drive a car. And there's a coexistence between people with Alzheimer's disease and people without any disease. So why driving a car is so important for our society to demonstrate it is a dangerous act, it causes pollution, but we think that if I can drive a car, I'm not autonomous. It's fun.
Interesting. That it also relates to what I said in the last part of this presentation. We should think of the values of a traditional society again. We should think the value of the traditional society again. I think many problems caused by, let's say, problems that people with dementia have. It's because of like complicated. 複雑化ですから complication of the modern society, like how we can use a personal computer, etc. But I mean also car too. And maybe in a traditional society, the present society with high technology is very difficult for the people. Very difficult for people with dementia or for all human beings. I don't know, but
yes, we think that a person is autonomous if he has some skills. But what skills? To drive a car, to use internet? Why not to milk a cow, for instance? Why not to plant a flower? Who defines the skills that show I am an autonomous person?
Yes.
As an autonomous person, so would you please repeat?
Who defines the skills that I must have to show that I am an autonomous person? Who defines it? Why to drive a car, not to milk a cow, for instance?
Or plant a flower.
Or plant a flower, or
if you can plant a flower.
Enjoy a beautiful landscape. Why just technological issues?
どうして
how do you define a person as an adult or as an autonomous adult?
Autonomous adult.
So why
you
is
mentioned
this-
about cow and cow?
So instead of having the ability to drive a car, maybe the standard should be I can milk a cow or I can plant a flower. And that defines me as an autonomous adult. We don't need to drive a car. Yeah, he's saying. So different social standards will
Yeah.
define independence.
Yes, yes.
Maybe-
Definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
It's a social construction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maria, you have a question?
Well, my comment is not an academic question and a comment. Just I'm a dementia family, so I just want to give you my opinion and my experience and opinion, or I want to I expect you to something good, better system. Because my mom suffered from dementia since last February, maybe much more. And we got, and my mom and me lived together on two. And last February she broke her legs. And her symptom is just only Parkinson's disease. So I didn't know that she had suffered the dementia. So, but my mom don't drive, but she can cook. But we are always every day is battle. Because she can say that I can cook. She can cook, but she forgot to fire. So I cannot go to university anymore. So every day battle. And day by day, and our world is getting narrow. We cannot say anybody else. So we became in isolation, absolutely. And at least, many cases, they kill each other. Daughter kill mother. So I have experience. Maybe if it's lasting for more and more long time, maybe I kill mom and I killed by myself. And one lucky thing, I think about how to access. Who helped me? So unfortunately, I'm a researcher in a medical school. So surrounding me are a lot of doctors, medical doctors. So I try to ask for the good idea for my colleague or for my professors. So they give me many advice to contact with in Japanese Chiki Focus Center, social network, or ask a specialist or psychiatrist. So I try to keep contact the social system here. So she gave me a good idea. Go to take a mom psychiatrist, and then brought her to the hospital. So her symptom of the Parkinsonism, it's a starting of labor. I didn't know that. So after that, now 14 months after, now she is in an elderly home and she's very happy and she was back to the normal mom. So that's why I can come here today. So she's living and she can understand I'm in a living tree. And just a small medicine, half medicine, half see. So my fear is to announcement for social level and academic level, and how to access when we have when we become a family of dementia family. Nobody knows where we become family members. So the access way is very important. And social announcement for elderly, older people, for adult people, and also education for children when they are 5 or 6 years old. Other life issues, it's more important.
Yeah.
I'm ask you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, actually, those things. Do you live in Japan?
Yes, in Sapporo.
I think like government and is trying to make many, let's say, different systems to give the information, what kind of resources you can use to the families and the patient. And but what I'm thinking is interesting now is in the past, like the system or the program is how to give information of the resources to the family member, but some local government started the new program that like how we can give the information of the resources to the person of dementia. Like they started the peer support system, like dementia senpai, person who got dementia like 1 year ago, 2 years ago, yes, and peer support the new patient, I mean new person of dementia, and give the like what is your what do you want to do? Okay, we have these resources. So some local government, actually Sendai, this city is trying to make these new programs. It's interesting.
To be honest, there are many good systems in Japan already, but the most helpful person is a elderly caregiver friends,
So this
not a specialist. The announcement is too much few. And even me, I'm working in a medical school, but ordinary people don't know that.
This is the reason why the organization for the person with dementia and family with dementia has a big power. That is an organization who kind of self-support group among the family members and also the patient.
More and more announcement how to access. So not to become isolation situation. Isolation is very dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous. Yeah.
I'm in panic at the time.
Yeah.
But
Are
when you
you
access
asking
the
how we can make a better like program to give the proper information? That is your question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after now, I feel dementia is a normal symptom.
Not normal symptoms.
But
Yeah.
normal,
Disease.
not
Common
specific,
disease. Yeah.
not a specific disease. So education is very important for
So, yeah.
I actually find it surprising that the prediction is only 10% dementia in 2050, because I think dementia is much more common, different forms of dementia. So I predict a much higher percentage of dementia patients in the future because we can live longer. Yeah, so it should be not just 10, but maybe 20 to 30, 40%. Of course, some may be treated by some medicine that are interesting. Yeah, well, thank you very much for a most interesting paper, Akiko.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.